Meanwhile, tomorrow is going to be an important day. 19th of July is actually going to turn out to be the last day when shareholders can buy Reliance stock. Of course, as far as the company is concerned, they're going ahead with a demerger of shares. And now we're going to see the entity list as Jio Financial Services. So it's a significant demerger. For every one share of Reliance that a shareholder owns, that shareholder is going to get one share of Jio Financial Services. Let's just understand this entire process and how it's going to work. And for that, my colleague from our research team, Shomit, is joining us this time. Shomit, it's an important demerger. Tell us exactly how it's going to play out.
Well, given that the demerger date for Reliance Industries and Jio Financial is July 20th, the last date for any shareholder to buy the shares of Reliance Industries to participate in this demerger would be July 19th. Now, the ratio for this demerger is 1:1, which means that for every one share of Reliance Industries, the shareholders will get a new additional share of Jio Financial. Now, the listing date for Jio Financial is still not known. Now, what we know about Jio Financial is that the chairman and the CEO of this company are both ex-ICICI Bank leaders. It's KV Kamath, who will be the chairman of Jio Financial, and Hitesh Sethia, who will be the CEO of Jio Financial. Now, what will Jio Financial do? It will provide lending services to consumers, merchants, and it will expand in other verticals as well, like insurance, broking, payments and asset management. Now, it aims to build a large digital fintech platform for all Indians, and going ahead, they're also open to bring in strategic and financial partners in the company. Now, when it comes to the valuation part, Jio Financial will be owning around 6.1% stake in Reliance Industries, which is the treasury shares, and the value of this treasury shares stand at close to 1.1 lakh crore. Apart from this, the company would have a net worth of close to 28,000 crore rupees. So, based on these numbers, what we understand is the company's book value would be close to 200 rupees per share, and brokerages have assigned a value of around 168 to 190 rupees per share when it comes to Jio Financial. On the listed side, Jio Financial will be competing with Bajaj Finance, Paytm, PB Fintech, Angel Broking, IIFL Securities and Paytm, as I just mentioned. And on listing, what we understand is that Jio Financial's market capitalization would be close to 1.4 lakh crore rupees, which means that the company would be the fourth largest financial institution listed in the Indian stock market. Now, how could Jio Financial benefit? Now, it is most likely to have a AAA rating similar to its parent company, that is Reliance Industries, and this AAA rating will help the company get the cost of funds on the lower side. Now, only 6 large NBFCs in India have a AAA rating, and Jio Financial would be one of them. Apart from this, given the fact that Reliance Industries retail arm has a very large distribution base, the company will benefit from that also, because Reliance Retail has more than 18,000 stores in India and nearly 78 crore footfall on an annual basis. Apart from this, the telecom business is also the largest in India of Reliance Industries with around 43 crore telecom user base. Now, what would be the impact of this demerger on the indices and the FNO? Now, the FNO contracts of Reliance Industries would expire on July 19th. On Nifty and Sensex, if you see, Jio Financial would be a part of the index at a constant price. And how will this constant price be discovered? Well, the opening price of Reliance Industries on July 20th minus the closing price of Reliance Industries on July 19th, the difference amount will be the constant price. On MSCI, it would be a part of the standard index, and on FTSE, it would be a part of the index if the listing is happening 20 days post the demerger.
Shomit, thanks very much. That in a nutshell is how it's going to work, and the kind of unlocking of value that's going to happen. But how significant is this demerger? Let's get it from a market veteran, Sushil Choksey, director at Indus Equity Advisors, joining us. Great to have you with us, Sushil. Now, how much value unlocking do you see with this demerger for Reliance and its shareholders? There is going to be a significant amount of unlocking, wouldn't you agree?
Good evening and thanks for having me on the show. Yeah, it's certainly a very positive event for Reliance shareholders, because not only 6.1% Reliance treasury shares are being transferred here, and that in today's market value at closing price is 1,14,000 crores approximately, plus 28,000 crores of net worth, which is currently owned, and all the related financial service or insurance and all the license, and maybe the payment bank is part of this entity. So one needs to watch out how Reliance integrates the financial service arm with the retail and telecom business to procure supply chain discounting or merchant vendor discounting or consumer financing. So based on all these, we'll have to see how the AUM can, the enabler to make a 2 lakh, 3 lakh crore of a lending book within a year or two is possible because Reliance. But thing is that ultimately how much of AUM can build, because based on net worth, Reliance will be able to borrow from banks or market via bonds or commercial paper or global institutions where lending book is concerned, or Reliance themselves may deploy certain capital additional over the net worth for creating this book, because there would be arbitrage between what they can borrow and what they can lend. But I personally feel it's a win-win situation from a shareholder point of view, that this will be one of the largest NBFC come financial service company in the capital market, and how it shapes up over a period of 2-3 years with the current trend of all the fintech services like the big ones, Bajaj Finance or any other Paytm or whichever wallet company, what Reliance is able to integrate into this financial arm.
Well,
And
it's got
ultimately,
this, yeah, but Sushil, they've got this huge database, and that really is going to play out to their advantage. So when it comes to comparisons with existing fintech companies, perhaps they do have an edge. Would you agree?
see, just having a database is not the everything in financial service. Ultimately, execution and quality will work.
Okay.
I understand that they may have 1 million vendors where Reliance Retail is concerned. They may have 10 million customer base overnight in terms of purchase, where they can do certain kind of financing. They have telecom bandwidth where the telecom customers are concerned. They will be able to bundle a lot of services. They would be able to cross-sell insurance. They may be able to do a lot of financial services distribution. So that is going to be beneficial. But ultimately, how much enablers have been put in place over a period of last 5-6 years to roll out in this financial year needs to be watched out. And how does the consumer get appeal? So does Reliance disrupt the interest rate market compared to other NBFCs? Sure, I think Reliance has capability to do that to garner market share. Will they work with a higher NIM or a lower NIM? Second thing, cross-selling other than credit, how much they're able to do it. So all that would decide the ultimate result where the performance of Jio Financial is concerned. If you take a 1 year, 2 year outlook, definitely it will be beneficial. But does listing merit a buy would depend
That's
on
what I
what
was
price
coming
does
to.
it list.
Tell me, Sushil, in your understanding, how easy is it going to be price discovery for Jio Financial as a stock after it first lists on the Nifty? And I understand it's going to be listing first as the 51st counter on the Nifty. What are your expectations on the stock price in the near term?
See, the Nifty listing, as per my understanding, is only for a temporary nature
It's
to
a very
align.
temporary
And
nature.
ultimately, it'll have to go for listing on a regular basis, which
Correct.
may happen 2 months later, 3 months later.
Correct.
Now, how many shareholders of Reliance, global or domestic, want to own the NBFC piece and how many don't want, that would be decided once the listing actually happens. But I'm quite sure a lot of people would get attracted if the value is fair. So let's look at how the valuation can be arrived. I'm not taking up Reliance market value based per share on 6% works out to approximately 1,14,000 crores. That comes to 170, 180 rupees per share. And do you give a holding company discount? That needs to be seen. And if it's a holding company discount, then 50%, 40%, whatever may be worked out. And on the net worth, we'll have to see what the assumption is, that they will be able to bring a 1 lakh crore AUM, 2 lakh crore AUM, or a larger AUM or a period of 12 months, sustainable period. And based on AUM and the profitability, we'll have to describe. So today, the fair value what the global brokerages are putting out is 175 to 200. But if retail buying frenzy comes in for the first few days, which is already visible in Reliance retail stock to own the stock, that's the reason you're getting almost 70-75% of shares delivered against the total volume for last 3-4 days since the book closure is declared. So retail has already got into the momentum to buy, and that's the reason Reliance price is up. And one doesn't know how it behaves tomorrow.
But even
so, a fair value based on the total sum of parts, which was already worked out by all the brokerage houses, including Jio Financial before the demerger, was 2,700 to 3,200 rupees.
Right.
So now you'll just keeping this in mind, we may be reaching a fair value for certain period, but one my looking at the market at peak and taking a 3-year view would be a better way to play not only Reliance standalone for the future benefit of other arms which is likely to be demerged, including new energy business, but Jio Financial Service Discovery with a stable number for 2-3 years should be the outlook and not jump in just because tomorrow you have to buy. But I
So
personally
you
feel
are
tomorrow's
saying,
closing
Sushil,
would
you're
be
saying
very.
that you wouldn't buy Reliance stock. There is one more day that you can buy Reliance. You would rather
No,
wait
no.
it out, even if Jio Financial turns out to be a higher value stock that you would have to spend more for later.
No, what I was trying to say, if you have a Reliance outlook for 2-3 years based on all the business and divisions,
Ah.
it's an attractive buy. But if you are going to spin off the entire Reliance and just hold Jio Financial, then it is better because you are entering on the last day to buy on the listing day rather than buying financial just to buy financial. Because if you're going to flip Reliance Industries day after by selling and just to own Reliance Jio, may not make sense because Reliance as a bigger manufacturing business and telecom and retail is much more valued if you take a 2-3 year outlook and just looking at financial service. So what I'm saying, I'm happy to own all the pieces with a 3-year outlook rather than just jumping in for Jio Financial tomorrow. If you're a pure buyer of Jio Financial, let the discovery happen and then you buy the stock. So I am not indicating any negativity. I'm positive on all the verticals of Reliance with a 2-3 year outlook because
One
it's
more
a proxy
question.
to India
Yeah.
consumer and India storage.
Yeah, but you did mention peers that Jio Financial is going to have, whether it's a PB FinTech, whether it is Paytm. At this point in time, if you're looking at buying into a financial space, then would you even choose a Jio Financial for the kind of gains it would make over the 2-3 year period that you're talking about, or would you still settle for a Bajaj Finance? I mean, how do you compare and how do you choose?
I'm not comparing Bajaj Finance with Reliance Jio today because thing is that the roadmap earliest what people are talking is going to be indicated at AGM or on listing day by Reliance Industry. We do not know. But Reliance has always performed with big numbers and big rollout plans. So I'm sure the plan is big. So today, if you look at the book value on the holding and the business what they are carrying, the net worth of 28,000 which is being added, how much will you value that at? 2 times, 3 times based on AUM, you'll have to take a call. My personal take is anywhere between 175 to 225 is a fair value for the stock on current market basis. But more or less a precursor indication on that would be visible tomorrow's last day trading of Reliance Industry before the demerger. So take a call. If you have a 3-year outlook, definitely you can buy. If you have just a trading kind of a mentality for one-day discovery price, I would be surprised to do that.
You wouldn't do that. Sushil, it's a pleasure getting your perspective in on this important demerger, and we'll dip into your perspective after the actual listing happens, maybe a couple of months down, and check in with you of what you make of the stock and the entire financial universe as it pans out. Thanks very much for joining us. We are watching what's happening on Wall Street right now.